Welcome to another episode of Branding Banter. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA.
Meg Gerber, Director of Sales of Proforma.
Stephen McFadden with TSC.
Awesome. You guys sound so professional. It's amazing.
I am professional now.
Well, we can dispute that for the rest of this episode, but we won't go there. All right, so we've got a fun, exciting episode, but before we launch into it, what's news? I mean, Meg, Stephen, anything to update us with over the last or for the next 60 seconds?
All right, go ahead, Meg.
Okay, so we keep missing it, but we didn't even talk about the Online 18, and yours truly was number 13. And to tie it back into our Killer Swift, that's number 13. It's the favorite number. That's all I'm going to say. Drop. I got it in.
I can actually do this really quickly. There we go.
Hey, Jeff.
All right, now we've messed up the whole thing. All right. Stephen, what about you?
Oh, my news was just that we sent Russell Wilson over to the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm thankful for that.
I was like more excited about it until I saw that you also got Justin Fields, and I'm like, well, dang. I was hoping that you would just have to ride the Russell Wilson bus like we did, but I think you've got two 75% quarterbacks. So
I don't know why we keep doing this to ourselves, though. The whole quarterback competition thing. I actually like Kenny Pickett better than both of them, I think, but it is what it is. All right, so today's episode, we are going to talk about General Motors, or GM for short. And it's going to be a fun time. I'm excited about talking about it. This is a company. It's only the second company that we've done or overviewed. We've got a special guest appearance today. I know it starts with an L. Lupin, that's right. She's a lot bigger than she was the last time we saw her.
Yes, he's getting big.
Yeah, or he. Sorry.
Yeah. That's all good.
My bad.
He doesn't know.
What's that, Meg?
You want me to kick off the General Motors talking about it?
Yeah, so like I said, it's the second one we've done. The last one we did was Pfizer. So we're kind of trying to hit, the sort of top purchasers of promotional products from an end buyer standpoint. It's kind of difficult to track those metrics down. I know ASI and the counselor used to do some studies back in the day. I don't know if they still do, and we should probably reach out to Michelle Bell and Chris Ruvo and with the editorial team and just see if they're still gathering that information, because that would help us a lot, I think. But ultimately, GM, one of the top purchasers of promotional items, and of course that's company wide. It's not just the automotive stuff; it's all their other sub companies and things like that that they go into. But Meg. So why don't we talk challenges for GM?
Well, real quick before we go into that, so General Motors they recognize the potential for promotional products and custom apparel, right? And why are they doing it? To enhance brand visibility, loyalty among its customer base. That's why they're all using promotional products. But they have a diverse portfolio of brands, not just GMC under GM. You have Chevrolet, Buick, Cadillac, and basically they aim to leverage the branded merch to strengthen its connection with its consumers, especially in light of launching the new electric vehicles and engaging a younger audience. I will say that with these new cyber trucks that are coming out, I feel like, to be honest with you, when I got my GMC, I was hoping that the EV would be out, even though the price was astronomical. I thought it was really super cool, but with COVID and all the delays, I've only actually ever seen one out on the road, and that was at the shore, and it was last summer. I haven't seen a single other EV GM. Have you guys? Or the GM E-Sierras?
No.
Never I. So I just think they're having trouble getting the chips. I mean, I've had my GMC truck for 2 years, and I just got the chips for the heated seats and the heating.
You mean this GMC truck?
Big sexy. Not me, the truck.
Stephen, back to you.
All right.
I don't know. And I guess to Meg's point, it's like what role, does all those challenges kind of play into promotional product spending, how they spend within their organization? As Jeff alluded, these are a little bit more difficult because of like the live reporting of data and how much of this do you actually want to disclose and all that. And again, we come to the table with you all as best educators we can be on a lot of these topics, but really to show you the scope of purchasing in different markets across the industry. So we're not going into this if this is your customer or not your customer to try to out anything. This is really just to educate people on the opportunities that are out there all around us. One of the things that I noticed within GM is they really do lean on all of their brands as its own potential for merchandising and swag and products. So, you think GM, you're like, okay, great. So we're talking about General Motor printed stuff. Well, they have all those brands within them. So there's, obviously the Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and then inside of those, you've got all the different cars and vehicles and trucks and SUVs. And each of those have product that they sell from a retail perspective that they also sell. Our company actually has had the opportunity of doing some stuff for Chevy. And so we did some Corvette branded stuff. And so it's like they leaned really heavy into that branding for that product. So that's just one small, tiny little segment for like one small tiny group, right? So then you blow it up, right? Then you talk about GM as a whole as the umbrella. Latest data that we were able to find is that they had $80.8 million in promotional product spend is the estimate that we have of the latest data they have, which was 2019. So obviously 5-year-old. That could have gone up or down. It's hard to tell with COVID, but nonetheless, they are definitely going to still be within the top 10 of promotional product spend based on all the brands and all the reach. They're a $43 billion company with 163,000 employees. So anytime you have that many employees, that's going to be a lot of purchasing just internally. If talking about uniforms and custom apparel and the onboarding kits, and I'll talk about more of those specifically, but just I'll pause for a moment, or I'll just keep rambling.
I'm going to have to go back to my consumer behavior and marketing college textbooks because I can't remember exactly what the breakdown is between like overall advertising spend and promotional spend. But it's interesting that you said that from 2019 because I know that their GM's overall advertisement spend was 2.95 billion, which is a substantial amount of cash. But of course, obviously, commercials are not cheap, and I would imagine that's probably where the bulk of that money goes. But still, 80 some million in promo is pretty darn good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, what's that percentage?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think like what's that percentage, right?
Yeah.
Still a big portion of it. And I think some of the biggest challenges they had, going back to Steven's point, is all the across all of the brands, they needed to maintain a cohesive brand image, right? You can't have you just gotta keep it together to keep that cohesion and keep the recognition going. So you have that, and you also had to make sure that the brands resonated with each item that was for the intended audience, depending if it was an auto show or a launch of a new vehicle, or you're a proud owner of a Chevy. I remember in high school, depending on what brand you aligned with, you would have like Calvin. Remember Calvin, the little tiger, and he'd be peeing on a Ford sticker or whatever, and that was just the thing. Yeah, Calvin and Hobbes. You have that. Then you have the engagement with the younger demographic, right? They're capturing the interest of younger consumers who may be less familiar with GM's legacy brand.
Are you insinuating that Calvin peeing on a Ford logo is a
no?
Chevy is GM.
That was just the first thing that popped into my head from the 90s that I remember. It was just something big. People were so proud of like their brand. And what do you know? You're 17, 18 years old. Like, grow up, right? I just remember that from when I was younger. But when we talk about those younger demographics, I mean, you guys know the amount of younger buyers that are out there now. It's not just the 40, 50, 60, 70-year-olds. The buyers are getting younger and younger. So they want things that more align with their values, their morals, and align with what they want their brand to also look like. So they wanted to make sure that they engage with them in the right way. And because if you think of a GM Sierra, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, I love my truck. But when I first got this truck a couple years ago, the other version of it, I was like, this is a grandpa truck. There is no doubt in my mind this is a grandpa truck. It felt like a grandpa truck, but I loved it. I loved everything about it.
The front end looks like a grandpa truck.
Inside looks like a grandpa truck, but I just there's something about it that I love. Maybe it's the grandpa in me or the grandma in me. I don't know. But they also with sustainability being such a big like talking point amongst all demographics at this point. They wanted to make sure that they addressed the increasing consumer expectations for environmentally friendly and sustainable merchandise. Not only the cars, they want to make sure they're telling that story through the merchandise. So they
Which
were
makes sense. I mean, because they've got as much of the carbon expenditure that they have, as a company that's in automobiles, obviously, for the vast majority of the company, you do want to focus on that a little bit to kind of backtrack on some of that damage. So yeah, that's certainly a challenge for sure. And you had mentioned sort of brand cohesion. I would like to say that brand continuity too. I mean, because it's a global company, right? So
Right.
the same stuff that they're delivering into America is the same stuff that they're going to need to be able to deliver into the UK and to Asia and Australia and all these different places that they're selling into. It's a global brand, so that's a whole nother challenge as well.
Yeah.
You
So
ever go on vacation to like a different country or even one of the Caribbean islands and you see a car and you're like, what brand is that? Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, where are they getting these from?
They're all Mercedes.
Yeah. Not surprised.
Yeah. All right. So how about some results? Do you want to launch into that, Meg? Because you had some results, I think.
Did I? I mean, I know I could cite some specific examples of really how GM used promotional products. I guess they would be the results, right?
Yeah.
I know for the launch of the new electric vehicles, such as the Volt, the Hummer EV, they employed a strategic use of promotional products. Basically, they distributed custom branded merchandise that not only promoted the specific vehicle being launched, but also emphasize. Oh my gosh, like emphysema over here. Couldn't get that out. Where is it? Sorry, guys, I've already lost my spot. Okay, they emphasize GM's commitment to innovation and sustainability. For example, when at the Chevy Bolt launch, they gave out items like a custom EV-themed apparel, reusable water bottles, and eco-friendly tote bags, and they were all designed to reinforce the vehicle's eco-friendly message. So when you are out there putting out a message, you're talking about sustainability. You're not just talking about it and giving away products. You're also kind of incorporating it, you're incorporating it into your brand story through the use of promotional products, which is what we all do. You all right over there, Jeff?
I'm good. Yeah. Sorry, I've got other monitors.
Oh, sorry, Crime's here. And then with the social media influencing collaborations, I know that they used social media influencers to just take pictures with themselves and promote their GMC Hummer EV, where basically the influencers just shared images and videos of themselves with the Hummer EV branded apparel and accessories. And I will say, I didn't see a lot of this. I'm seeing more on the Cybertruck aspect of it. And I think Elon Musk did a phenomenal job. That was like the first set of people that were getting them were influencers and big names that are on social media. So you see that, you play it right, you get the right influencers on board, you're going to get the biggest traction. So I don't know if GM did. I mean, you had the best influencer right there, right? The one that you showed, Jeff?
You talking about this one? No, she's only in the top 18 of a very small.
Not even top 10. So
I know I did get kicked back a little bit this year, and it's okay.
No, so listen, I do apologize. I was looking up at this other monitor up here, but it's because I was trying to remember. I know we just had Jason Lukash on from Rupt, and when you were talking about the EVs and all that good stuff, I was like, man, they really should have done that the Alexa battery pack as a promo item. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, how cool would that be?
It would be awesome, wouldn't it? All right. Anything else? What else do we have to add, Meg? You had a lot of stuff over here.
I know. I just want to kick it to the branded merchandise. I know Steven wants to talk about the store, but they also have an online store for branded merchandise, and it's a wide range from T-shirts to apparel to gift cards to a bunch of stuff. So, Steven, you want to jump into that?
Yeah, and there's so I have some product, some case studies with them as well, because we, as I mentioned, we've done some projects paid through by GM for specific brands. So we've got to see how they use their collateral, but also talking about the onboarding, which is a huge spend for their promotional marketing. There's some chats that talk about people that have been onboarded at different companies, and there were groups that were talking about being onboarded at GM, some in the manufacturing space, some in the sales space, some just in corporate, and universally across all of them, they talk about the items that they got when they were first onboarded and when they go through their orientation, which all of them have mentioned backpacks, notebooks, pens, and water bottles. So that's a big. I mean, you got to imagine 163,000 employees with the turnover, with the amount of people that there are in an organization that size. That is a lot of promotional spend in just onboarding kits and promotional products. The other thing that they do as well for groups like in the manufacturing space is they'll add in jackets, uniform wear, which may or may not be in the promo space. It depends on how that's recorded, but the jackets are, the embroidery pieces are. And then they also do dollars that they give people to go shop at their online store, which is what Meg was alluding to. Most people were talking about how after a certain period of time, some people said 3 months, some people said 6 months, they then get $100 to go on and spend on this platform. I know that we have some experience using doing some products with them, and we used to do trade show goods for them. And a lot of it was for new product launch activation. So whenever they have a new vehicle, they would set up at like trade shows with that vehicle, and then they have all these tablet stands for you to like fill out information so they can get your information on next time you're interested in a vehicle, we'd be happy to help you out. And then they would give them a t-shirt. We would do tons of t-shirts for them, sometimes product, but almost always t-shirts. So we've done those at like Braves games, and we've done those at farmer shows for when they launched a truck, or they so they would have vehicles specific to the trade show industries where their product would be most likely purchased in the future. And then they would have a collateral piece that would go along with it. So you got to imagine you take that for such a small market for one vehicle and you multiply that across the country and the world. I mean, it's huge, huge, huge spending in promotional products.
Yeah, I would like to say about their company store, it's gmcompany.store.com /pages/promotional-products. I'm sure there's another URL for that, but ultimately, just having looked at it, I think it is a very nicely laid out company store, and it's pretty interesting because you can shop by brand. So if you're going in specifically for Chevy, you can go into Chevy, or you can even go further and go into each model of the cars as well. So you can buy like Corvette product as opposed to just Chevy product. And then there's like for recruitment, for corporate giveaways and gifts and events. So there's like different segments that you can actually go into as an employee and purchase that stuff. It's broken down pretty well. So kudos to them. And so how about from community? Did we have anything to add this week from the last couple of episodes that we've done?
So I think people were very thrilled about that one piece minimum from Rupt. I don't have it up in front of me, but I just remember someone just being blown away by the packaging and how the packaging, it's not the last time you're going to see it. You can also reuse it. So I'll have to find that. I think it was on my LinkedIn, but yeah.
We get a ton of likes and stuff like that, but I'm not seeing a huge amount of comments. I'd love to see more comments from the community. So if you have questions for us or specific things you'd like us to cover, it'd be awesome to hear from you guys in the comment section, and we will definitely cover it. Anything else you guys want to say to wrap this up?
It wasn't a comment on our post, but I met with one of the franchise owners today, and he actually made a point to tell me that he watched our Pfizer and another one, and he was just loved that we put it together like this and wants to see more of them. So when you talk about case studies, there's not enough of them out there. It really gives people the confidence to say, okay, they're breaking this down. They're talking to us about the challenges. They're talking to us about the results, the differentiator. It really gives people that confidence to go out and go after big companies like GM and Pfizer. So I just want to say thank you for that feedback, Brad. And we take all the feedback.
If you want to play my 30-second game again with GM, I'm happy to do it.
All right, let's do it real quick.
All right. A 24-ounce tumbler that is definitely from ETS because I see the name brand on it with a 2-color print.
25.
On the company store? Yeah, yep. I'll say 30.
$28. The Liberty stainless steel bottle, which I know is from HIT. 21 ounces, bamboo top with a loop. How much is that one?
$25.
17.
$25. And we'll do one more for the apparel people.
I was going to say, do some apparel, yeah.
A unit. Oh, wait, no, that's on sale. That's not even fun. We can't do a sale item. We got to do full price. Please hold. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do an outerwear piece.
Yeah.
We're
Let's do
gonna
that.
choose a GMC trademarked hooded pullover. It's like the one you see with just a GMC across the front, just like Meg should be wearing in her truck picture. Black.
$79.99.
And I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, this one is sold out.
Oh, $85.
$39.
Oh,
What?
that's why it's sold out. Man, they make
Yeah.
it easy.
Interesting.
There you go.
All right.
Thanks for playing the
Fun
game.
games. We suck at pricing. All right, fair enough. Well, listen, hopefully you guys like today's episode, and until next time, we'll be seeing you.